Live from the Texas Cheerlickers Studios, it's In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Yes. Right off the top here, we need to go to the most credible news source in America.
Dun.
Dun.
Yeah. I guess it's not breaking because it happened about 30 minutes ago, but
Some of these people don't know probably. Some of y'all are not living and dying with the Diddy case.
I'm not.
I damn sure. I forgot that there was even a verdict today.
I'm not.
Adam Schefter was the one that tweeted it out that got me interested. So
It's funny reading Schefter's comments when he does basketball or baseball or Diddy trial. His comments are, "Why are you doing this? Why?" He's still a human.
Did Schefter actually, for
Yeah.
real? I thought you were
But
being
Schefter
funny.
breaks a lot.
Has
But
Sham said anything yet?
I was shocked.
People, his comments be like, "Why are you doing it, bro? He's still a human."
TMZ.
What
The
happened?
final verdict in the Sean Diddy Combs federal criminal trial is in, and it is not guilty on 3 of the 5 counts.
The life sentences.
2 guilties, 3 not guilties. They have acquitted Diddy of racketeering, sex trafficking of Cassie, the ex-girlfriend, and the sex trafficking of one of the Jane Does.
No, that's Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's second baby mother.
I think I'd rather be known as Jane than
Yeah.
50 Cent's second baby mother. He's only been convicted, so 3 of the 5.
The big boys, the ones that were looking at life sentences,
Right.
not guilty.
Right. He has been found guilty on 2 prostitution charges. Transportation, the Mann Act.
He would fly Cassie to different states and pay escorts. He would fly Jane to different states and pay for sex, pay her to have sex with them, or pay the escorts to have sex, vice versa. So I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. I know the 2 charges he is convicted on, they both can go up max of 10. But from what I'm reading from experts, he might be coming home time served.
Wow.
But again, I don't know.
Right.
Because again, with stuff like this, if the judge is sitting there and like, okay, I got to take the jury's word for it, but I still have say so, and I think you're a shitty human. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But so I'm gonna let that, just like I did this, I'm gonna let it play out.
Have to. It's complicated. And the question I have is, and I can't find this, maybe Bouquet can find this before we get done today. So what is the minimum? So he's guilty of the 2 Mann Act charges, which is, like Rudy said, transportation hookers, transporting hoes across state lines. Can't do that. So he's facing up to 10 years for each of those guilties. But I don't think he's going to get the maximum.
No, first-time offender.
So he could possibly do 20 years total if he's given the maximum on both of the Mann Act violations.
And those are normally, from what I've read, normally reserved for repeat offenders. And even though,
so what's the minimum sentence? Like he may get time served. How long has he been locked up?
A year.
And he may get to go home.
I think it's been a year.
He'll
I don't
have
know.
a record out within the month. Or actually, you know what?
His music career is over, but
Are you sure? Are we certain his music career is over?
I'm positive. His music was never good.
Didn't DMX release a record while he was in prison, or write one?
Who didn't?
Lil Wayne
Tupac
did.
Few people,
Well, he could self-release. I mean, he's just so rich. He's got his own production company.
Yeah.
He could if he self-releases a record by Christmas. Let's say he goes home next week. If he self-publishes a record by Christmas, it's going to get 1 billion downloads.
I know.
1 billion.
Yeah.
Because it's him. And now because of what he just has gone through, because you know how we do in this country with people that get in trouble. We love them when they get out. It's funny.
Yeah.
Or we just want to hear, even if they're guilty and we know they're perverts, we still want to hear their stuff just because it's curiosity.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at racketeering, running a criminal enterprise, the devil, I know that for a fact, he's the devil, but that doesn't mean he was running a criminal enterprise.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to think
Right.
about what that is.
Absolutely. I'm not surprised at all. I figured this is how it was going to go. I haven't been keeping up with it religiously.
No, I got a life.
Well, yeah, and I
I
also
don't have
think-
any idea
and
what was going on.
honestly, Rudy, I think Diddy's been done bad here. I think he's a victim of the system. I think there was a gotcha system that wanted to prove a point with him, and rather than just charge him with the 2-man act charges from the very beginning of this, they want to act like he's fucking Pol Pot.
See, a lot of these DAs and prosecutors make their careers off these type cases, and sometimes they overshoot.
Well, you also
their shit.
ruin your career.
Yeah, you overshoot your shot. And I mean, to me, the prosecution should be embarrassed.
Absolutely.
You should be embarrassed
Absolutely.
because you drummed up charges. You reached on the racketeering and sex trafficking and
the RICO.
And now look at you. You standing there with egg on your face.
Yeah.
So again,
I like to get egg on my face.
Again, man, chains are cool to buy, but the most important, as the great Jay-Z said, chains are cool to buy, but more important is lawyer fees.
Yeah.
So if if you can afford the best lawyers, and it's probably a good thing. Remember, he offered $50 million for bail.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a good thing he didn't get it. Now you got to go home to a little bit of money. He offered $50 million for bail, and the state of New York told him no. You got that. Let's talk about that. I don't know if he's been done wrong. He's a horrible person, but
I think
he should have. He deserved bail. Strictly supervised, but most people get bail on stuff like this.
Yeah, it wasn't like he killed 3 people.
Right.
He wasn't a murderer.
This ain't Luigi.
Yeah, the state of New York looks terrible today.
They look stupid as hell.
Mm-hmm.
They look stupid as hell.
He never should have been tried for those 3 things he was found not guilty.
Should have been tried for what they convicted him on.
I bet we're going to hear from jurors that say it was obvious that he didn't commit RICO violations. It's obvious he was a racketeer. He's just a pervert.
And they were torn last night on the racketeering, the jury, but then they came out unanimous.
Right.
That there was no racketeering. I was like, damn.
Probably a couple of jurors just needed a little bit of more time to think on it. But last week, and as a juror, if I'm sitting there, and then what was it, Thursday, when the defense is like, we're going to drop most of the charges. A week out of the verdict, if you don't, then you don't have a case on this stuff.
No.
They exonerated themselves by dropping the other charges that they faced him.
Great point.
That ruined that effed up their case. That ruined their credibility. And the reason why I say Diddy's a victim is because he spent way too much time in jail for 2 Mann Act violations. And he also sued.
I don't even know what Mann Act means.
Well,
what's that? What
Mann
your
Act,
best understanding?
You cannot take a woman or a man, anyone,
whatever,
across a state line for prostitution.
For paid sex acts.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like you and I fly in hookers from Jamaica. We just violated the law.
Oh, so what? Okay. So where's the line on that? So like Buki, let's say Buki gets rich.
Yeah.
He would totally violate the man.
If he gets rich, he's going to violate the man.
Yeah, pick a single man that has money and he flies an Instagram chick to Texas.
Happens all the time.
Is that Mann Act
violent? Technically, but it rarely gets tried.
Like if I take
her,
if I take her shopping, I've just committed Mann Act.
No, I think if you bring her here, if you bring in girls from Las Vegas and Bouquet pays you to hook up with them,
now I'm going to jail possibly.
Right.
Got you. But now if we just hooking up, you're good.
Yeah, right. If you're just a local pimp and you got prostitutes you're running here on the west side over off Cincinnati and Zarzamora, you're violating the law. But it's not a federal crime. You're not violating the Mann Act. What makes it the Mann Act and a federal crime is when you have these girls go across the state line into another.
And again, with me, I had a problem with it because when you say sex trafficking, that is like, to me, that is people's teenage sons and daughters.
Yeah, these are kidnapped girls.
And you never see them again, and they're being forced to sleep with men and women.
Right. And that goes on
thousands
all the time.
of them a year. That to me, and not like, yo, that's what y'all are putting on this dude?
Right.
Like, come on, man.
The Mann Act goes back to the 20s. So the great Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion of the world, Galveston's own.
Didn't he marry a white woman and get in trouble?
Well, he liked white girls. Well, he liked girls. He was Jack Johnson. He was rich and famous, and he had a girlfriend who was white. She was not a prostitute, but because it was illegal to mix races in Texas, he took her and they they were on the way to some other state so they could just be happy and free. Jack got caught and got busted, and that's where the Mann Act came from. That case where Jack got imprisoned, he got the title stripped from him simply because he had a white girlfriend. But because he drove her across the state line, gotcha. We got
even
you on
though
a
she went
federal
willingly,
crime. Yeah, we
like
got you on a
Cassie
federal
and like
crime.
Cassie and Jane did.
Correct. Which is why I say Diddy's a victim here.
But he paid the prostitute dudes to sleep with them, so
He
then
did.
he messed up.
He did. So he
Gotcha.
violated the Mann Act twice. And he's
Well,
facing
more than
10
twice,
years.
but yeah, but
I
know
these
what you're
two
saying.
counts he got
Right.
found guilty. When I say he's a victim here, I mean that he got trumped up on charges that he never should have been trumped up on because of who he is. And it wasted how much money has he paid these lawyers? How much time has he spent in jail? It's bullshit. It's what it is. And his defense were genius. Is our client kind of a pervert? Yeah. Is he kind of a douchebag? Yeah. We're not here to tell you he's a good dude.
No.
We're here to tell you he's not a criminal. He's not a criminal. And I'll bet you he didn't even consider violating the law when he had hookers coming in to bang his girlfriend. He didn't even think about that. I bet it didn't even cross his mind. He probably just figured that was okay. He was probably surprised when he got this whole going back to last year or 2 years ago, whenever he was on the tarmac in Miami trying to go down to Cuba or whatever and leave the country.
Yeah.
He was probably stunned, like, what the hell's going on? And he panicked and tried to run, which made him look bad. But ultimately, at the end of the day, all he did was he just bought some hookers for his girlfriend who willingly participated. But we have morphed into a society here. As I don't want to make this a big, deep thing, but
No.
this just reminds us all that we have turned into this victim society in this country where if I do something that I wind up feeling bad about, or I feel guilty about, or I feel like maybe I got kind of coerced into doing something, rather than just man up and say, well, I fucked up. I shouldn't have been participating in that. Someone needs to pay because I made a dumbass decision that I'm embarrassed about. And because Diddy's a rich, famous guy, let's go after his money. You know, had he just reached out and tried to pay off some of these girls or whatever, I bet this never would have seen the light of day. Oh, but so he's rich. And we have this victim society where Cassie almost looks bad herself today. Now that scene in the hotel room where he's kicking her in the face, that's bullshit.
That's awful.
And Diddy should have his ass kicked.
That's
over
what I'm
that.
saying. Right.
But
sure.
the freak-offs, miss me, honey. You ain't no victim. Bullshit. But that's just the society we live in where I did something I'm embarrassed about. Oh, God. It's almost like Tiger Woods. Oh, crap. My wife found out I'm a serial cheater. You know what? I'm a sex addict. Don't blame me. I have an affliction. I'm addicted to sex. Get the fuck out of here. I'm so tired of people doing dumbass shit in this country. They get caught or somehow people find out, they're embarrassed by it, and so now they want to play the victim card. That's bullshit, and as we've said over and over and over, it takes away the credibility of actual real victims, in maybe in this case, young girls from Mexico getting kidnapped and sold in whorehouses in New Orleans or Houston.
And if you can't,
against their will, that's bullshit.
If you don't know, and if you don't know the difference in that, I don't. There's not enough time in the world for me to explain to you. You just be over there.
We've all done things we're ashamed of in our lives, probably, that we'd like to take back. But you have to own that. I was a grown ass man. I made those decisions. I did that. That was dumb. Maybe I was experimenting in college. Whatever. I'm not going to victim blame and say, the powerful rich guy that I was with coerced me into doing this. And, bullshit. You had free will. I think justice was served today here in this case. And I don't think Diddy should get 10 years. I think he should get time served and he'll only be allowed to go home. Doesn't mean he's a good dude. He's still a weirdo who likes to have other men's semen put on his nipples, but not from the guy himself, from the girl, which is still weird, and I'm still trying to process that shit. But that doesn't make him a criminal.
I know exactly what you're saying. That's again, it was one of them things where you're like, damn, New York. Wow, prosecution, y'all really look like jackasses.
They look terrible today, And they dropped a bunch of the cases last week. The charges, rather. I mean, The state of New York looks awful, and Diddy should sue their asses off and get his money back and make the state pay his attorney fees at least. It is In the Building. It is episode 356 of In the Building from the Texas Chair Liquor Studios of Pub Sports Radio in Southtown, Texas. The audio disseminator is Jose Buki. You can donate to us via the Super Chat. You can buy us coffees via the buymeacoffee.com link that Bouquet will link on our chat each and every day. You can become a member of this program for only $4.99 a month. When I say program, I also mean the channel itself, and get all of our exclusive members-only content that we drop. You can subscribe to the channel for free, but the memberships are $4.99. You get all the members-only stuff. Just to be a subscriber, it's free. I love you, Hard TV. Shout out to our partners at Pub Sports Radio and Anthem TV. Oh, Adrian's in here.
What's that?
So if this was your daughter, would you feel differently? Society makes excuses for everyone. If my daughter were who, Cassie? No, I wouldn't feel differently. No one forced Cassie to do anything.
They have the text messages.
Anything.
They have a lot of the text messages. Diddy, what do you want to do today? Cassie.
Society doesn't make excuses. We've turned into a bunch of victims in this country.
Right.
Bunch of fucking victims where I do something dumb, must be somebody else's fault. That's bullshit.
No, I mean, I don't know, man. Y'all, again, Diddy ain't my homie. I don't have no dog in the race.
I don't want to hang out with him.
No,
I don't see why he's
homie.
such a big deal.
They ain't my homie, but when you get a certain age, you make choices, and you got to live with those choices.
Right. And I'm not talking about Cassie getting her ass kicked in the hall. I'm not talking about the verbal abuse and all that kind of thing. She could have left, though. She tried to make the case that she feared for her safety as she left him sooner, but she didn't make the case.
And it still ended up leaving. She left him for the
she
trainer.
Still left him.
She left him for the trainer that he was paying for.
And did he kill her for leaving? No.
No.
Bernard Trefan's in the building. I bet Buki would let Diddy spread egg all over him. It's a different kind of
Buki
egg,
has a price.
I definitely have a price, and unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to prove it in a court of law to get all my money, apparently. So,
no. We'll still we'll still have to see what happens on the other two counts. And again, when that comes out, I'll discuss it. But I'm not gonna. TMZ's probably gotten 1 billion unique views off the Diddy trial. That's their, thing. They've been covering it, wall to wall.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing here. So when he gets, sentenced for the 2 counts that he's guilty of, we'll discuss it then.
Yeah. But I think justice has been served. He did not deserve a guilty on those
RICO, racketeering, and sex trafficking.
BS.
Right.
BS. Just because you don't like somebody and you participated in something that you regret does not make that person a criminal, period. As Rudy said at the outset of the show. He's not a criminal. He's a lot of bad things. He better watch his back maybe now. And by the way, he's a powerful guy. Or he was before all this. A lot of people have said a lot of bad things about him while he was locked up.
No, I think he's found out.
Go, hey, dog, I was just...
he's found out also.
He knows who supports him.
Yeah, he's found out also like, a lot of y'all that have been to my, not the freak off portions, but a lot of y'all have hung with me, been to my parties, made money with me, all disappeared. Then nobody had his back. Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, it's a lesson learned in that too. People are only cool with you, when you're doing for them or when everything's all good.
Right.
But, I love Jay-Z. Jay-Z been nowhere to be found. A lot of people that have been close to Diddy over the last 20 years, nowhere to be found. Distanced.
Right, because they're worried about getting themselves canceled, which is also BS. Troy Aikman showed up every day in court and sat in the back of the courtroom while Michael Irvin was being charged with
all the
his
stuff,
coke charges.
Whatever.
Mike was guilty. Mike did it. Mike had drug problems.
Mm-hmm.
Mike had run afoul of the law. But Aikman still supported him. That's my brother. I don't condone what the man has done, but I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to distance from him and disappear because I'm too much of a pussy to stand my ground and support a guy that I love. I may not support the action,
and I knew what you were doing.
The guy,
and I knew what you were doing.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's where we are now. This is not the early '90s anymore. Now, you're afraid to even give an opinion on somebody who might be hot water. And that's just not how things should go. It's not ultimately good for our society.
Agreed.
Not to get all deep. All right, it is in the building. I'm in a reflective mood, maybe, I guess, today.
Why? What happened?
Well, I was going to get into this yesterday, but you know how we do. Going back to, like, what's the earliest childhood memories that you have? Like, what year was it? Like, could you remember being 4 or 5?
Yes.
All right.
For me, yeah, easy.
What's your earliest memories? 3?
Spending 5.
Yeah.
Kindergarten.
Yeah. What year was that?
77. 82.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Same for me, about 5. I have
Fucking Jose.
some of my faintest, and sometimes when I'm 50 now, and so I have things in my head that I'm thinking, well, I'm not even sure if that's actually true or not. Like, I have these memories, but that I just make them up. But like my legit memories that I know for a fact, I can see myself at 5. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah, shit, that was 1979 for me, Bouquet.
I look forward to watching the Cowboys documentary and asking you questions.
Oh, I lived it. I
Yeah.
lived all through that.
I know.
I'll take you into my emotional. I can tell you how my emotions were during all that BS.
I look forward to it.
What year did you turn 5 years old?
I was born in 1997. I'm not a math guy.
So
02.
01, 02. When's your birthday?
September 4th.
Okay,
Beer
01,
goats.
02.
So do you remember, because the 03 Get Rich or Die Trying came out, were you bumping that at 6?
No, not in my Hispanic household.
Okay.
In my Hispanic household, rap.
So
is the
when did
devil's
you
music.
get introduced to 50 Cent?
Who the fuck knows? I don't know. I just know he got shot a bunch of times and then was in a movie. The movie that he did was the first time I was like, who's 50 Cent?
It's 50 Cent.
50.
Just to be accurate, it
Fit-
is technically 50.
50.
50.
Like
50.
rhymes with Diddy.
Yeah,
50.
what movie did he do?
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay, yeah.
His record was called Get Rich or Die
Right, and the
Trying,
movie
too.
was too.
Oh, see, I did, yeah. Who
So
knows?
you missed
So-
03. 03 was a great year, bro.
Yeah.
You know what got me to thinking about these days is over the weekend while we were out, the great Dave Parker died. The longtime Pittsburgh Pirate, soon to be Hall of Famer, which it's a damn shame because
Gotta die first.
I don't want to go on a baseball rant here. The dumbass Baseball Hall of Fame
Yeah.
takes way too long to get Dave in. He finally gets elected, and he dies a month before his effing speech is scheduled to be done in Cooperstown, which sucks. Dave Parker was the best player on those great late 70s Pittsburgh Pirates teams. We are family was their slogan.
Yeah.
We are family.
Did they call him the Cobra?
I got all my sisters. They did.
Thank you, Gene.
They had those badass yellow striped hats.
Oh, with the tassel?
They had I think they
No,
had
it was the yellow pinstripes.
The yellow pins
Those were
around
dope.
the
That
whole
was a
thing.
dope.
Those
That,
were so
that was
cool.
the best hat. That
And
was
they
the best
were
pirate
rounded
hat.
off. They didn't even look like a baseball cap.
Right.
Yeah, Dave Parker, Kent Tekulve, those badass late 70s Pirates teams. That's the first great baseball team that I can remember. Like, I don't remember the Yankees
Did they
in
have
the
the
70s
great?
or the Reds.
They had the great Latino player on that team.
Roberto Clemente.
Did they have him on that team?
No. So Roberto
Okay.
got killed in 72
Oh, okay.
in a plane crash.
Right.
And that's when it's funny you mentioned that because it's like Clemente gets killed. The Pirates obviously are devastated.
Right.
But the only good news was we got this really talented kid down at AA named Parker. And he was probably a year or two away from making it to the big leagues, but they had a need in right field, so they went ahead and promoted Dave Parker from their minor league system, and he wound up playing right field. He replaced Roberto Clemente in right field.
Damn.
And for 10 years was one of the best right fielders in baseball. Had the best arm. I think he won the MVP in 78, 79, something like that. And the Pirates won the World Series in 79. And that's my I don't remember the big red machine from the mid 70s.
With Pete Rose's guys?
Yeah, I don't remember the A's because I was born in 74. So my faintest memories as a kid were like 79, 80 when the Pirates won the World Series. And I don't know if it's because it's nostalgic or that was the beginning of my
That was the beginning of when
me
you fell in
knowing
love with
anything.
baseball.
fell in love with sports and just became aware of the world, like the music. And I've always loved that part of the country's history. Late, like 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. I've always loved that part of our country's history. I love the music. I love the funk. I love the R&B. I love disco. I love yacht rock. I love all that.
I like yacht rock. I do
love
enjoy
all that shit.
Willie Stargell.
Willie was on those Pirates teams. Absolutely.
Shout out to Pops.
And shout out to Pops. He's gone too, isn't he?
Believe
Is
so.
Willie gone? I think he is too. Yeah.
Well, gosh, let's
I
go.
just got to thinking about my childhood this week when I saw. Y'all remember? You remember the Iceman King Parsons?
No,
He was a wrestler up in Fort Worth.
I thought it sounded like a wrestler.
Yeah, he a real wrestler. WCW up in.
I
up
remember
in,
watching.
up in
That's a
Dallas.
vivid memory. Watching wrestling with my
And
grandpa.
he would come running out to that song "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge. I got all my sisters with me.
Mhm.
That was the Pirates theme song. My favorite wrestler was Iceman. That was his intro song. And I was 5, 6, 7 in the late 70s, early 80s. And that's when I just became aware that, I'm a human being and there's things going on outside of my house. And so I got really nostalgic thinking about that this weekend. So pretty cool.
Charlie's listening in Boston on
What's up,
vacation.
Charlie? Hey, man. how you doing?
Congratulations. Enjoy vacation.
Thank you. I've always wanted to go to Boston because of the historical aspect.
Only been once. Didn't
Never
get
been
to.
to- never
Didn't
been
get
to
to
Fenway.
enjoy it. I went for Army Navy. I was busy.
Yeah, I never been to Fenway. It was at Fenway though, wasn't it? Army Navy.
No, it was at where the Patriots play.
Oh, in Gillette. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'd always wanted to go to Fenway, but anyway, well, it's just harkening back to the days when I was just a young squid, a pressure virgin with my cavities and my cut-off jorts and my cowboy boots and my rat tail hanging down to my spine. That's also when I realized, man, I have a shitty deal. My parents suck. I have teenage parents, and we are dirt poor. And I think that's when in order to escape that, I was able to escape in sports and movies and TV
Yeah.
and music. And that's why I just really love that scene. Late 70s, early. So shout out to anybody that has memories of those days too that are close to our age. So again, you turned 5 in what, 02, 03? Something like that?
Yeah,
Good
02.
Lord.
He
Golly.
turned 5 in 02.
Yeah,
Shit, in 02, I had just met my wife.
Jesus.
Mhm.
We were 24.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I was partying till
God.
4 in the morning,
Oh,
then going to
God.
Nationwide at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, why was 03 so good?
02.
03 was good because I only had one kid.
Mm-hmm.
I had just
had
met
two.
I had just met Anna. All we did was fucking party,
Okay.
and it was just good times.
Mike, what was your peak year so far? The year that you looked
2025.
02,
2025. Honestly, that's a hard one for me to ask, or answer rather. I've had lots of peaks and valleys in my life. I have
Same.
learned that there is no peak in your life. I don't see how anyone could have a peak.
Gravity
We have peaks.
is gravity exists in life too. Ask Puff.
I feel like
Yeah,
there's still peaks ahead of me.
Yeah, ask anybody, dude. Like, I don't care how big you get. Ask Elon. You know, Elon's riding high in January. Now here we are in June, and he's like,
Fuck.
"Yo, his best buddy say, I might look into deporting you since you want to talk shit." You know what I'm saying?
Elon Musk.
I'm just saying, like, I
Trump
don't
being
care
Trump.
how gravity exists in life as well. Like, you don't get too high, don't get too low.
Yeah.
Yeah, peaks and valleys for sure.
Yeah,
Mike.
and you'll have peaks throughout the year and valleys throughout the year. And that's
Yeah.
probably not the answer you wanted to hear. But I can tell you, 1987, the Minnesota Twins won the World Series led by Kirby Puckett and Kent Herbeck. And I was rooting for the Cardinals in that series, but the Twins got them because they had Jack Morris and they had a great closer named Juan Berenguer. I can tell you, in 87, that was a great finals between the Celtics and the Lakers. Sports was great. 87, I was in junior high. I was playing running back for the Riverside Falcons. Had a great year. My aunt also overdosed on heroin in 1987 and died at the age of 23.
Mm-hmm.
So every year is met with peaks and valleys. And the older you get, you'll realize that.
03 was when the Spurs finally beat Shaq and Kobe.
2003, yeah.
2003, it finally beat Shaq and Kobe. 03 was a good year.
Yeah.
I don't
sounds
have
great.
much memory from 03. I was a young dad. I was working my ass off. I graduated college in 03. I do know that. Graduated high school in 93. Graduated
95 for me.
college in 03.
God, you guys graduated high school. That wasn't even a thought yet.
No. So your birthday's in September?
Yeah.
And you'll be 28 this year?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you're just barely a few months older than my oldest kid. She's doing fine. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I bet she is. Yeah.
Although Toro Loco brings up, he actually just triggered me.
I'm talking about after Kobe and Shaq dismantled them, Vallejo in 01 and 02. Jesus Christ. I know they beat him in 99. That was with Dale Harris. Phil Jackson wasn't even there.
Dale Harris, God almighty. No, but Toro Loco just triggered me.
What'd he say?
Of all of the things that I loved about that time, late 70s, early 80s, Michael McDonald was not one of them.
Michael McDonald's is awesome.
Fucking hate him. He's terrible.
Is that the guy?
He ruined the Doobie Brothers when they decided to bring his
You're
ass on.
you're gonna trash Michael McDonald?
Oh,
come on, bro. No, we don't disagree often. No, we're not
he sounds
doing
like Scooby Doo.
We're not doing that, Mike.
He's terrible.
Come on, man. Those are some great songs.
Terrible.
You those are some great songs, man. I love Michael. See, you making it sound bad.
That's what
how
yacht
it
rock
sounded.
is to me, and that's why I don't like yacht rock.
Well,
Yacht rock
we'll
is
fight over
awesome.
yacht rock as a genre. Though.
Yacht rock is awesome.
Yeah,
You just,
that just sounds like white people. music
you
to
have
me.
never been
Well, it's
around.
totally white people music.
You've never been around people on coke while yacht rock is on.
That's true.
It's awesome. I never done coke because I have an addictive personality, so I stay away from that type of shit. But watching people on coke with yacht rock is kind of cool.
Loved yacht rock. Perhaps the greatest singer-songwriter ever in San Antonio history was one of the great yacht rock performers, the great Christopher Cross.
I don't know
Who
him.
won? You've heard him though.
Okay.
Sailing.
Oh God, I love that
Takes
song.
me away to where I'm
Me and my
going.
mom danced to that on my wedding night.
He had the theme to the movie. What was it with Dudley Moore? There was a movie that came out like 81, 82. Dudley Moore was the lead actor in that. He won an Oscar for that. He did the soundtrack to that.
Take
He had
me
Sailing.
away to where I always heard it. I love that song.
That's don't. Yeah. He had.
Love that
He
freaking
had
song.
4 or 5 #1 hits in the early '80s, and this city was probably super stoked to see it.
Ride like the wind.
You Ride Like the Wind. Yeah. Had a flamingo on the cover of the record because it was very yacht rock music.
Yeah.
He had like a boat and a flamingo. There's a guy. Was he from Florida? No, he's from San Antonio. This guy. It's great. What was it? When you get, I can't do the high voice. When you get caught between the moon and New York City.
Come on, man.
best
That's great
that you
music.
Can do is
It's
fall
great
in love.
music.
Yeah,
I
dude.
don't
Takes
know.
me back to
The music
sitcom
was
days.
awesome. And the funk in that time. Prince had just come up. Michael Jackson had just made Off the Wall in like '79.
Off the Wall better than
Dude.
Thriller, by the way. I know
That's
Thriller.
a hot sports opinion.
I know Thriller won. Sold 100 million records, and him and Quincy Jones made history. Thriller was more rock for me. Off the Wall was like the end of disco, but it still had that R&B and soul. So look, for me, I'd rather listen to Off the Wall. I won't say it's better, but Off the Wall is just God.
Wanna rock with you.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
It's a lot of singing. That's too much singing for me for one show.
I will admit that I have Michael Jackson takes, and I would agree with you, Rudy.
Okay, good. At least you got some type of
So
culture.
the twins and I just had a Michael Jackson listen off, not freak off,
Sure.
this weekend, driving up to Austin to get their buddy. So the white MJ asked me, Daddy, did you like Michael Jackson? I'm like, I loved Michael Jackson. And I gave them all my opinions on my.
Yeah.
It went south, but I loved Michael Jackson very much. And MJ's like, so do you like the song called Chicago? I'm like, what? I had never heard the song Chicago. MJ's like, wait, you say you love Michael Jackson, but you never heard Chicago?
Why had you never heard that one?
Because by then I was so out on him. I thought he was a child molester.
Got you.
But
Allegedly isn't.
I refused to listen to his music.
I know what you
So
mean.
I didn't hear the record he released in '99. So what I did was, I'm like, well, have you guys heard Thriller? No. So I got to introduce my kids to Thriller and Off the Wall this past week.
That's good
They
parenting.
loved
crazy.
They loved Off the Wall
It's
better than
timeless.
Thriller.
Timeless.
Yeah, it's timeless.
Timeless.
It's great.
I will admit that's the thing I'm excited about parenting. I'm excited to show my future little Lum all these things.
Who is Lum Lum?
Future little Fenway.
Oh, your future kid.
Yeah, future little Fenway.
Your
yeah.
sperm don't work when you don't eat eggs.
We'll
You
take
need
that to the
protein,
fact.
Holmes.
We'll test all these theories.
I
Those
don't
chicken
mean-
nuggets
no,
have you sterile,
that's
sir.
not-
I
yeah,
promise you.
that's
we
not
will
real
find out
protein.
all together.
Not
Shoot up. Hey,
processed.
when you get home tonight, shoot the club up. I guarantee you, she won't get pregnant because you're full of processed food. So you're
Shoot
good.
the club up. I've never heard it put that way.
Sometimes you gotta fuck the club up. Sometimes.
I had mass murder last night.
Well, see-
It had been a while. We didn't have
Oh,
any,
you get
we had
to-
no kids in the apartment for the first time
What
in
you
3 weeks.
She tied up or what? You get to
Oh
shoot
yes,
up.
sir.
Oh,
Rudy. When I was courting Nina, I'm like, this could be something.
but I don't want
You
no
know
more kids.
what put it over the top was, oh, by the way, I'm celibate. I can't have children. That was the final thing that recruited me to her school. She on our recruiting trip that I went on with Nina, she presented a very, very good trip.
Yeah.
But the one thing that was going to get me to sign the NIL deal was I needed you to tell me that
You don't.
couldn't
Either you
have
don't want
kids.
no more, or you can't have them.
She can't have them.
No, I know, but it's
She
also
medically cannot have them,
okay. Gotcha.
which meant
I can do whatever I
shoot the
want.
club up.
shoot the
Every
club
time.
up with no jacket.
No jacket. Who uses jackets in 2025? Are any of you young kids? Y'all still using condoms?
I've never used a condom.
Jesus
but you don't have
Christ.
you don't have rando gratuitous sex though.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. At Oklahoma State, I hope you wrapped that thing up.
Yeah, well,
Who's to say you don't already have a little Fenway running around you don't know about?
that's true.
Condoms
That's true.
suck.
Shout out to Little Fenway.
Hell yes, I use the word courting. And hell no, I don't use rubber.
Only time we
50
had,
years
I think,
old.
only time we had to was right after both babies.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
Super fertile. So right after the babies,
Interesting. Interesting.
I
and
didn't
she
know
kept
that.
counting them motherfuckers. She's like, I know there's 3 in here, motherfucker.
No, Nina had
So
her,
you better,
she had
you
the-
better. Yeah, if they was something missing, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, the dam has been cut off.
Good for
Rudy,
you.
I have a personal question.
It depends on what it is.
Did you also have coitus yesterday? Because I had coitus as well.
What's
He wants
coitus?
to know if he had sex.
Yesterday?
He's just being stupid.
I'm
about it.
not telling you that.
I
It
will.
could
We
be all
just-
3 of us.
That'd be cool.
we could
What,
all
yesterday?
Yeah, I had it
I
yesterday.
did.
Ah, look
I
it
3
up!
for 3.
We fuck, guys.
But my little ones are in Dallas, so I'm trying to go 5 for 5 from the field. My little ones are in Dallas, so I'm pulling up from Curry range all week.
Yeah,
You know,
Dude.
I had a stiffy. I just couldn't let it go to waste. You guys know.
dude.
Just can't let it go to waste.
It had
Is
been
that a
too
first
long
in the building history? All 3 of us?
that we're aware of? Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Brian Whitener.
3 for
3
3.
for 3. Look at us.
Brian White.
Whitener.
Oh, Brian. Oh, Brian.
Brian
Whitener.
half Mexican Whitener is
Yeah.
his name.
Well, let's just hear from everybody on the chat then.
Who got some
Who else
yesterday?
got
Yeah.
some yesterday?
Join us.
Must be as it's hot in summertime, July 4th, short week. Everybody's getting lucky. All right, the holiday season is once again upon us. It is our nation's Independence Day Friday, but I'm looking much more forward
To
Saturday.
what?
to just the rest of the summer. I'm happy about July 4th coming. I'm excited about the summer, so I'll put a bow on all this silly nostalgic talk. He asked me about peaks in my life. I really feel like I think this company has peaks ahead of it. And one of them comes down August the 30th with our debut television show in Corpus Christi on Chris 6, which I'm super stoked about. We have peaks to come. That's how you live a long time and be happy while you do it. Don't ever have too many people peaked in high school or college.
Yeah.
I always find it weird, and I don't want to offend anybody.
Oh shit.
Here we go.
He's
I
about to
al-
offend everybody.
I
What?
always find it weird where guys our age, you go to like their Twitter avatar. You see this with athletes all the time. Ex-athletes. 2-time NBA champion.
What's wrong
Oh,
with
and like
that?
92, 93.
What's wrong with
motherfucker.
that,
Grow
Mike?
up. Grow up. Have
Grow
something
up.
else. Have
Come on,
something else in your life that you're proud
Mike.
of other than what you did 30 years ago.
You know what? Nina's stand-up gets better and better every day. Like, you really do walk around yelling at the most odd, random shit.
Quit
Like-
bragging about shit that happened
Come on,
40
Mike.
years ago.
Yeah,
Come on.
Scotty, get out of the past.
Four-time
dude.
All-Star. Yeah, Scottie Pippen comes to mind.
Come on.
Get out
There's
of
a
the
guy.
past.
Now there's a
Come on,
guy who
Mike.
peaked.
Come on, Mike. You be-
Scotty has
Mike.
no more peaks ahead of him. Michael Jordan,
None.
I don't know that has any more peaks ahead
He
of
can
him.
just win a NASCAR thing. That's it.
But Mike doesn't have 6-time. First of all, Mike don't have social, but it wouldn't say 6-time.
That- and
It wouldn't
you know
say
what?
6-time NBA champion Michael Jordan's
Of course
bio.
not. And neither would Tim Duncan's if he had an Instagram page.
Right.
It's not going to say 5-time NBA champion. It's going to say, husband to Vanessa, father to Sydney and the other kid, or whatever, or
Yeah.
And the other-
Earthling.
Gotten over myself.
That's an ass whip.
Really?
Yeah, to me it is. Oh, yeah. One state in 86.
No, high school.
Gives a
Look,
fuck.
high school doesn't count. But if you play D1 or pro, it can be in your bio. That's my vote.
I go back to the Mac Brown speech in the locker room after Texas just beat USC in the national championship in 2005. I love that Mac speech. And every year on the anniversary of the Longhorns winning the national title, I go watch that speech. It's on YouTube. It's awesome. Mac goes on like a 6-minute. He goes on a 6-minute speech. He had no idea there was anybody rolling, which is great, because he was like, "Everybody, I don't want any cameras. Everybody, just us. Is it just family? I just want family in here."
Yeah.
And Mac told them, "You promise me that when you're 50 years old, this won't be the only thing you ever accomplished in your life. You'll always be a champion. You'll always have that. But you promise me when you're 50 years old, this won't be the peak of your life. When you're 50 years old, I want you to come saying, Coach, I want you to be a good father, a good husband, and a good citizen in our community. That's what we're trying to get out of you when you leave University of Texas."
Well, guess what? Anybody can be a father. Anybody can be a husband. Not everybody can beat Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart. So that's the highest accomplishment. That's
Is
the
Vince
highest
back on
accomplishment.
Twitter? I wonder if Vince still has national champion. Vince blocked me for the longest time.
Yeah, he deserved to block you.
He got so mad at me. I
Yeah.
always regret that, because I legit felt bad when Vince blocked me on Twitter.
A Mike Taylorism that I'm learning about. When he tweets about you, he'll at you. He
No,
will
we don't.
Why am
we
I
don't.
going to tweet somebody?
we don't throw rocks
Especially
and
if I
hide-
talk shit.
Yeah, we don't throw rocks and hide our
at
hands.
Devin Vassell, overpaid bum.
He
At
never. He
I
never.
call him a rando.
He
I didn't call
never
him a
wrote
bum. I didn't call Vassell a bum. I call him a rando starter in the NBA.
at CD Lamb, you pissy makes more than you. It makes me laugh every time.
Vince
I see
does
it.
not have Twitter.
He only
anymore.
has a
Oh no,
steakhouse.
he's on it.
He has a steakhouse. I
June
don't.
7th was his last tweet. Old Vince.
What's in his bio?
The real Vince Young enjoying life. And
Oh,
a
he does have.
big family.
Look,
man.
UT 2005 national champion,
Of course.
MVP, NFL Rookie of the Year, 2-time Pro Bowl. Yo,
At least he led with enjoying life and a big family, man. At least he mentions his
Look.
family before his trophy he won 20
Man.
years ago.
if I was a Vince, I'd have that shit tatted on my neck. 05.
Jeez.
05
My God, it's
Mazzy.
been 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't remember that. I don't want to remember a second of
Good.
that game.
Lord. You don't remember a second of that game?
No,
You're
Well,
a
he
baby.
was
You're a baby.
7.
not one memory of that game. Mainly because, again, my parents are from Venezuela and they don't give a fuck about
Of
college.
course. What I do like about having a young guy, you're not that young. You're 28 years old, man. You ain't young.
Yeah, no,
You just ain't
my body
old.
hurts every day.
What I like about working with someone Jose's age is we have a kid who's not peaked. Here's the thing. He's going, like, his great sports memories, he's living them now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you and I, it's like, fuck. I mean, the drafts become the highlight of the Spurs season, because when they were glorious years ago, it was amazing. And we were innocent. Like anyone who was around in 1999 when the Spurs won the championship over the Knicks, that's like, you'll never have that innocent feeling of first-time champ again. We're getting to live. Like I got to live with him and the Celtics winning the championship. Like, you don't remember the KG Paul Pierce Celtics.
Hold on.
You've read about that, but you didn't live it. You
You
were
don't
a baby.
remember.
You
You
didn't
don't
read
remember
about
08.
No.
Well, no, you were 11. You remember that.
I remember that one. That hurts my feelings. I remember 09 more.
it. You do?
Yeah.
09 is when
All
KG
right, well,
got hurt.
Yeah. I
But he's
remember
still
09
like
more.
living. He's still like a. He's still a major. He hadn't gotten super cynical yet.
Yeah.
Everything back in the day was always better than today. You'll get there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I still hold grudges about sports, the whole thing. But I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled as a Boston sports fan. I've seen all my teams won, except for the Jets.
The one thing that you will never get that Mike and I and a bunch of guys in the chat have, and I don't give a shit if I sound old, y'all will never experience Saturday mornings with your siblings eating cereal, watching cartoons, then helping mom clean up to Luther Vandross and Teddy Pendergrass. Like, those are the best. Now, that you talk about, do I remember my child? I remember vividly waking up early Saturday morning, getting my bowl of Frosted Flakes, and watching cartoons. Those are the best Saturday mornings. There's no bonding time anymore. Everybody gets up, gets their phone, and goes their separate ways. We bonded on Saturday mornings in my house.
Yeah, my memories is of waking up and just hearing Hispanic music, maracas, just at like 7 a.m. listening to my mom clean up.
Then that's good parenting, sir.
Go, sir.
Jose.
Go clean your fucking room, man.
I ain't going to tell you again.
Scarface.
I'm not going to tell you again.
It's like, fuck. The music.
I'll be slamming my fucking doors, Jose.
Hey, go get the paddle, my little friend. The paddle.
Yeah, I didn't know I had Scarface.
Until you pay a fucking bill in this house, you don't slam any fucking doors, Jose.
Yeah.
Go cut the fucking grass.
That's true. I broke my first thing in the house when I started paying bills. Shout to that.
Good time.
Shout to that.
Shout out to the great Vince Young, who still brags about winning the Natty 20
and
years
the
ago
Rookie
on
of the
his
Year.
streak. But at
and
least
a
he
two-time Pro
mentioned
Bowler.
he's enjoying family first in the deal. I've never understood that.
By the way, another old people thing that I just can't wrap my hand around.
Yeah.
When you guys went out, when you guys were younger, say, Rudy, when you were fucking in 2003, I can't imagine, like, losing someone and being like, okay, well, good luck. I don't know how to find this person.
Oh, like pre-cell phone?
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
There was many of those nights where you just catch up in the morning.
You just get lost and you're just like, okay,
you catch up in the morning. And then it was cool. It was okay. Like, dude, what the hell happened, man? You were over here. I was over there. The next thing you know, y'all were gone. I went home. It was cool.
Right. We were okay with not knowing for a little while.
Yeah, I would not be okay.
It was okay.
Exactly, which is why all you guys are eating up with anxiety and stress all the time, because you have programmed in your brain that you must know everything in right now time. And when you don't have it,
you tell time,
out,
Jose?
you need to relax on that shit.
It'll take me a hot minute to do the math, but I can, yeah.
No,
Can
like
you-
on a
can you-
clock.
Yeah.
Not a digital clock.
Yeah, it'll take me a hot minute to do the math.
Can
but
you write in cursive?
No. That was the worst part of that.
So
was
how
the
do you
worst part
sign
of it.
checks?
I fucking just.
He prints. When's the last time you signed a check?
I've written like
Never.
one check in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do it either.
Well,
I
checks
was
are a good thing. I'm glad checks are gone. I don't need Ethel holding up the HEB line
Yeah, I
with her
can believe that.
checkbook.
I can believe.
I'm okay
also-
with that. Like, some shit that we had was like, it's good, it's gone. Checkbooks
Mm-hmm.
are stupid.
Could you like when you guys had credit cards and you guys had to like physically write down? I spent $7 on this. I had to spend $100.
Hey,
on
Jose,
this.
fuck off.
And then you like had to pay it. Could you imagine? I couldn't imagine doing that. That'd be the worst. And then you just expect like you have to wait in the mail. Like, oh fuck, I didn't pay all my credit card bill today. I gotta pay this. I gotta send in $100 to the fucking snail mail.
I remember
What the
my
fuck?
grandma and I getting in the car, driving to the electric company
Mm-hmm.
in downtown Fort Worth.
Mhm.
We would walk in, wait in line, and pay the electric bill like at a bank.
What a horrible.
And I loved it because I always got a sucker. They always had a basket full of
They
little,
always had a basket
little
full of
gumdrop
candy.
suckers.
Always.
always.
Love that.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that now. That would be
Yeah,
horrible.
man.
Spending
Good
like
times.
30 minutes trying to pay my electric bill would send me off the deep end.
Shout out to Buki's mom's maracas.
Yeah.
They're-
That could be.
I wish that we could get you to try some things that you say would take you off the deep end and just let you fall off the deep end a couple of times. I think you'd come out when you hit bottom and come back up. I think it would change you. I think you'd have a better perspective. I think most young, and it's not your fault. I'm not blaming you at all. My kids need the same thing, where like kids need adversity because they don't ever have any. Kids need to not feel this need to always have all the information right there at their hands and
told
realize that you don't need to have it all at your
My
hands.
sister brought it
to
up
be
this
happy.
past weekend. She was like, Rudy, do you remember when we would ask mom how to spell something and she'd point to the dictionary? That shit used to make
that
me
was
so
great.
mad. I mean, at the time as a kid, but now I'm grateful for it. But at the time as a kid, I'm like, just tell me how to spell impossible. I'm trying to finish this paper that I had to do a rough draft on and an outline. You know what I mean? You don't know nothing about turning in an outline, then turning in the rough draft, then writing the real paper. We wrote like 3 real papers before we got to turn the shit in. But no, we had all the encyclopedias, 2-3 dictionaries. And if I asked my mom a question that I could find in that encyclopedia dictionary, she would not give me the answer. And I love her for it.
And I fear for the life. I think the life expectancy of these generations is going to go down.
I'm living 40 years tops.
Because,
Don't say that.
I mean, because the human brain is
it's a muscle.
You die.
No, it's a muscle. It's just like if you don't work your arms or your legs,
sure,
they go to shit. It's
Absolutely.
the same with the brain.
Absolutely.
No, the kids before or after me are fucked with AI.
And China knows this, which is why their TikTok is not the same as our TikTok that they produce.
No, it's
which
totally
is why Trump
different.
wants it out of the fucking country to begin with.
My teenager said that her teachers have a Chat GPT cheat sheet, so they can identify if you wrote your paper straight from Chat GPT.
Jesus, when
because if you want to, you can say Chat GPT and write a paper on Theodore Roosevelt for me. It'll type that shit up for you.
When I was teaching, they made me do 5 different tasks a class. I'm like, wait, what? I had to switch tasks every 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, why? Well, because kids need constant turnover. Oh, so teach them nothing but headlines? Okay. Don't delve on anything. Don't do any critical thinking whatsoever, because it's been 7 minutes and little Johnny's going to lose. So we're feeding into this, and we're going to create a society of shitheads when y'all are in your 40s. And I'll be living in Costa Rica, so it won't matter.
Yeah, Mike the teacher was probably a trip.
I'll be in Costa Rica.
It lasted 2 months. That's why it did.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
it was a short trip.
Yeah,
I can't imagine being like, you have to teach this, and Mike being, what the fuck?
That was so funny.
All right, it is in the building. This show is presented in part by Executive Armoring, our boys over here on the north-ish side. Probably not even supposed to say where they're located.
No.
Had to sign an NDA when we went in there and saw the shop, because they have a lot of high-profile clients. They have a lot of first responders that they do business with. But after years of armoring cars for higher-profile people or doing bulletproof glass for higher-profile people, now they're extending this service to citizens. You know, there's a lot of people out there that maybe, I think I'll go ahead and get bulletproof glass in my truck.
If you really think the world's coming to an end or just shit.
Or just to have peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind.
Yeah.
Nothing like you can't put a price on peace of mind.
Yeah.
And that's what Executive Armor is here to do.
Right, absolutely. Go try to rob a car that's been armored. If you are a person who's thought, let me look into armoring my car.
Or just my windows.
Yeah. Maybe you're a SWAT unit down in Robstown or something, and you happen to see this show. Executive Armoring, they're looking for folks that want high-end armoring and or bulletproof windows in their vehicles, whatever the vehicle is. It is Executive Armoring. Contact our guy Leroy, 210-716-0406. You can email him at info.armoring@gmail.com. info.armoring@gmail.com. All right. It's the last time y'all had Las Palapas.
Decade.
What?
Really?
I'm not. It sucks to say this on a day
That's
like
okay.
today.
It's fine.
On a day like today,
They're
but
not going to go out of business because you don't like it.
But I'm not a huge fan. I like Jalisco's.
Okay. Well, what about late at night when you need something on the go, on the hurry?
He's not Fat Rudy anymore because of these decisions he's made.
No, these are good decisions, probably, but you can make you can make decent.
And
health
the life is
decisions.
balanced. Like I cheat frequently, but I make sure I get get my work in it. But I just haven't been to Palapas in a while.
The last time I was in a Palapas, I took the Twins because it's cheap. Las Palapas for me has years ago surpassed Taco Cabana.
Oh, dog! It's like it's one of the. It ain't even Taco Cabana ain't even in Las Palapas rear view. It ain't even close
for sure. But it's become for us like what Taco Cabana used to be.
Right.
Eat something quick. Don't want to eat Jack in the Box because it's fucking poison.
Right.
Need something that's decent.
No, for sure.
So let's run through Las Palapas drive-through real quick. They're always really fast. Nina knows members of that family, the Acosta family. What on earth went on yesterday?
From what I read, was it a family member?
I think it might have been his nephew.
It was a family member that he was about to take in.
For the night or for a while.
That part I don't know.
All right, so Ron, for those that don't watch us in the San Antonio area, maybe you boys over on the Pub Sports channel, Ron Acosta is the founder of what wound up being one of the most successful Mexican restaurant chains in all of this part of Texas, Las Palapas. Ron Acosta, I think he was probably semi-retired. I think they actually have franchises out now where other people own some of them. I believe that's true. I might be wrong. But he founded what turned into the Las Palapas empire. Well, somebody in his family, I think it may have been maybe a nephew, distant cousin, I don't know, because Mr. Acosta was in his late 70s. This guy's in his late 30s.
Yeah.
This guy lives in California. For whatever reason, he's driving from California to San Antonio. Calls ahead and says, hey, I'm still 2 hours out from San Antonio. I think I'm going to go ahead and crash here, and he's just going to post up somewhere, and I'll drive the rest of the way tomorrow.
Right.
But for whatever reason, like Mr. Ron's like, no, come on in. You can just stay at the house. And so this guy, I forget his name, the asshole that killed him, shows up as a guest at his uncle's house or whoever he was to Mr. Acosta to spend the night. Something went on, and he stabs Mr. Acosta to death in his own garage yesterday here in town. Shocking. We were at dinner with some friends last night when y'all sent me this. One of y'all sent me this, I think.
I did.
It was you? Okay, yeah. I showed Nina right away. All we saw was Ron Acosta killed, family member did it. And we're like, oh my God, like Nina kind of knows Matt, one of the sons. It's like, oh my God. And turns out it's some distant relative or whatever. Maybe the guy was having mental issues or money problems, and who the hell knows, man. But you live. I mean, I think Mr. Acosta was 79,
8.
I mean, you live. So obviously you don't. It's better than dying young, but like, what a shame. You spend
Awful.
80 years on this planet
Awful.
just to get taken out in some effed up way like that. It's just BS. You just unless
78.
This asshole that killed him better prove that Ron pulled a gun on him or something, because I just don't see any other scenario. It exists.
Says they had an argument
where you pull out a knife.
Why do you even have it?
You just got to the guy's house that day as a guest in his home, and you wind up stabbing the old man to death. Fuck you running, you piece of shit.
Yes.
Now those are people that need to be put away for life, not the Diddies of the world.
Right.
We're talking about these.
Right.
This is a maniac. This is a criminal, shameful act. Hope the son of a bitch does not have any bail. Hope they lock his ass up, throw away the key por vida. How do you he must have been, obviously he wasn't all right, because if he's normal, this doesn't.
And I don't that like I always thought, in these weird thoughts, in my days when you sitting on the patio, you smoking a joint, and you're like,
you mean last night?
No. And you're like, yo, man, like stabbing is so like I don't know if I could stab. Like you shoot someone, you pull the trigger, and you're like, oh shit, I shot him.
Yeah, how violent? That's such a violent
that's
act.
A weird. It's like the hairs on my arms are standing up. Like I don't think I could. Obviously, if my family's in danger, I'm in danger. Then you do what you got to do. But just like on some you know what, F you, and just start stabbing the dude.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do it.
He's clearly a psychopath.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he thought he was just gonna kill the old man, take some stuff out of his house, and go on the run, because he had a nice house, obviously, and he lived there alone. It was just him and the housekeeper. The poor housekeeper. This old man got me. He butchered him. The housekeeper was like, there was blood everywhere in the garage. There was nothing I could do to stop the bleeding. He just bled out right there in 10 seconds. Just awful to just butcher a human being like that. It's just awful. It's disgusting, and it's just scary that we share the roads and streets with people that do these kinds of things. And this asshole drives. You drive all the way from California. You're a guest in his home. He's your uncle or whatever, and you stab him to death. That tells me he probably didn't know the housekeeper was there. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe he didn't. Maybe maybe who knows? Who the hell knows? But then he gets in the car and he drives northbound. He gets busted up in the hill country somewhere within 2 hours. Jackass. Ugh. So thoughts go out, man, and there's nothing to say. It's just I saw that. There's nothing to say to anybody that knew that family. Anybody that might be watching. It's just terrible. And
Are they only San Antonio?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the San Antonio area.
Right.
I mean, maybe there's one in Seguin or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
Honestly don't know. Just a horrible scene last night. All right. That's one of those topics you don't plan on getting into on a show each day. I did want to mention, because y'all brought something else that y'all brought to my attention that I would have never even noticed.
What's that?
Is once again the name Kai Cenat comes up in my notifications. This young man who has turned into this
probably
Twitch superstar.
Yeah, streaming, probably number one in the streaming world.
Yeah,
who
him and
has
Speed.
like
He has,
Kevin Hart come over to his house and play video games.
keep in mind, he has 150,000 paid subs.
Good
now,
Lord.
Now you do 150,000 times 6.
I know.
That's about $900K a month.
I know. And that's
That
God knows
ain't-
what else he gets paid
that
to
ain't
make endorsements and appearances.
That
and
ain't super
stuff.
chats.
So Kai Cenat showed up at Tony Parker's house up in Bernie yesterday or in recent days and got a tour of Tony's home.
I know
how
why.
how that got strung together, I have no idea.
Tony's team is genius. It's a genius move by Tony. Keep in mind, Tony built Disney World. And it's cool in the moment. You're a young dude. You build this beautiful home that all your friends and family could come by, and you don't
like
ever
the amusement park.
yeah,
in the
you
back.
don't ever have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But now comes a time where you realize, like, dude, I'm a simple guy. Give me a 4 or 5 bedroom, and I'm good. And it's time to sell this home.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs that shit? How do you sell that shit? That home has been on the market years.
Needs to just level all that shit.
Years. It just take your loss, right? You would think at this point it takes loss. So what do you do? All right, every San Antonio realtor struck out. I'm gonna go to the best streamer in the world, Kai Cenat,
Okay.
show him all this cool shit I have in this home, and maybe somebody in that world, because it's viral now. You know, Tony Parker has the fingerprint room where he puts his hand on this little thing, opens up to his trophy room. Some cool shit in this home, and now there's a bunch of millionaires and billionaires that can see this home and possibly take it off of his hands, probably at a much, much lesser price than what he wanted. But he's tried everything to sell this Tony world, and he just can't do it. So shout out to Tony Parker's team.
Grown-ups don't have shit like that in their house or on their property.
Yeah, so he's been trying to sell that home for a while.
He probably ought to tear down the amusement park and just have a giant yard and let the buyer do what they want at this point. Right?
Yeah.
Take the loss. So that makes sense. Now I get it.
Mike
When I
Tyson's
first
house
saw this-
loss. That Evander Holyfield home that Rick Ross bought, huge loss. It's like nobody's buying 50,000 square foot homes anymore. Not even the uber rich.
No.
Not even building. Nobody's doing that anymore. So shout out to Tony's team for thinking of something, because they're out of ideas.
Now that makes sense, because when I first saw this,
because Kai don't care about Tony
I was
Parker.
thinking-
Probably got paid.
of course, they paid Kai. Now that makes sense, because I saw this. I'm like, what the hell is he effing around with Kai Cenat for?
Sell
What
that
is he-
home.
And I thought, because Tony has a lot of businesses. He has a lot of ventures out there. He owns basketball teams. He has properties all over the world. He owns a ski resort in France.
Owns a French basketball team.
Yeah, and they won the title. And I mean, I think was that the one that Tiago Splitter was the coach on, and they won the title? Maybe Asvel, whatever. I don't know, but it's like, what the hell is he messing around with this kid for? The Twitch kid.
I
And
think
that
that's
makes
what it is.
sense
I could
to
be
me.
wrong. That's
No,
my
that makes sense to me.
assessment.
And no, that makes sense to me. It's like when I first saw it, I'm like, this makes about as much sense as a trap door on a kayak.
AD's been to that home.
Yeah.
During
Or
when his champagne came out, he said he had to go through 3 security gates.
Right. Gate 1, Gate 2, Gate 3.
Just in case
Like, damn.
the first 2 security guards were high.
Which is that's also excessive.
We got King Koopa at the end.
Hey man, love you, but you ain't you just Tony Parker, Holmes. You don't need
You're
3
not the
fucking
president.
security gates. Mar-a-Lago ain't got 3 security gates.
No
What
shit.
are you
right?
doing, man? And so it's like, okay, now that makes sense. Tony's trying to sell the
I
property.
think that's my
maybe.
guess.
All right, that would make sense. But then part of me thinks Tony's a 42-year-old, 22-year-old. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Tony's Tony. Tony's different.
Tony
Tony is
has done it again.
Tony is a young old man. He always kind of has been, you know. Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Sure.
Kind of a douche. No, Adrian. Oh, Adrian, he's worried Brent Berry is going to show up and kick his ass. No, Brent Berry wouldn't do that. You know who Brent Berry blamed for that? Mrs. Berry.
Bingo, Mike.
He immediately dumped her fucking ass and hasn't looked back since. And the last time I heard anything from Brent, he was working for the Austin team, and he's long moved past that hoe ass ex-wife of his. Because he's a grown ass man who doesn't hold grudges against the Sancho. It's the chick. Anyway, so
Preach.
y'all tell me about Kai Cenat here. What is the big deal about him? So like, there's almost like this religious parochial worshiping of like everything he does. I need to see him walk around and say, "Ooh, that's cool." Yeah. Oh, well, Tony Parker's house is neat. What exactly does he contribute that makes him entertaining?
It's him.
What about him?
Him. What?
I still don't get it.
It's like, what is it about anybody that's famous? What is it about anybody that's on television?
Our show's entertaining as shit. And I've watched Kai Cenat with my kids, and they just sat there 20 minutes doing nothing.
You're 50. It's not
so what?
No, you're 50. You're not. It's for 13 to 28-year-olds.
But why him?
Because he's him.
Of all the, what does he do that's extraordinary?
It's intangibles. It's entertaining to them. It's
how?
Because he's him. He's him. Because you got to remember. You got to remember. There's a million dudes that do this.
Why him? What does he do that's different? What did he do that put him over the top?
He's him. Because he's him.
I don't get it.
No, what I'm saying is it's not what he does. It's people gravitate to him as a person.
Why?
Because he's him.
How did he become him?
Why
him?
People gravitate to who he is as a person.
How did that happen?
Like, there's people that think I suck. There's thousands that think I'm great because I'm me. Same with you. There's 1,000 people out there that tell you Rudy J sucks. I don't
personality?
get it. Yes, it's just him being him. Because again, there's a bunch of guys that do what he does, but he's him. It's like, yo, I like watching Kai do that. I like watching Kai run around his bedroom and do jack shit.
Okay,
you know
I would love to be that.
Yeah.
Because
we missed that boat.
We get so much more done on our show than he gets done on his thing.
We missed that boat.
He just sits there and makes jokes that aren't that funny.
To you. Mike, he has 150,000 subscribers.
I know, but it ain't like he has a Netflix special to do stand-up comedy.
No, but
I mean, he don't give me any insight into anything that matters whatsoever.
No, we're 50.
He doesn't have opinions that
we're
matter.
50.
No, that's not. I don't
Mike,
accept that.
Yes, I accept that fully.
I don't accept.
You got to accept that. Like a perfect example. Public Enemy and NWA was great for me. My mom would yell, "Turn that bullshit off."
Don't be comparing. You about to compare Kai Cenat
what I'm saying is, once we get to a certain age, we're not supposed to understand why kids like what they like. We're not. That's just the way the world has always worked. You can't compare Luther Vandross, who's great, to NWA, who's great. They're both great, but my mom isn't gonna walk around listening to NWA because she's not 12.
But Kai is neither one of those guys you just mentioned.
And to millions of little kids, he is.
Yeah, let's check back in 5 years when he's nothing.
But it won't matter. It
Well,
won't matter
'cause he's
because
rich.
the thing about it is, even with rappers, even with athletes, yes, it all runs its course.
These guys had talent. They were doing something that was entertaining to the people.
What
talent does Kai have?
There is a talent in making people, because again, I don't think our talent is coming up with content. Our talent is, everybody knows sports, right? But who wants to listen to who wants to listen to you talk about it? Kai's just has the ability to keep people's attention for long periods of time. Whether it's bullshit or not, hey, that ain't for me. I've never watched one of his streams. I've seen the clips when Kevin Hart was there. I've seen the clips when Drewski was there. I thought it was cool. That was funny, but I've never watched
them to come to his show.
Well, they only came because he has 1 million people watching.
Exactly. He caught this wave at the right time. God smiled on this kid.
Right.
And maybe he's a funny guy or whatever. There's a million funny guys. Maybe he caught this wave and he got some notoriety somehow, some way. Something went viral on accident. Right. And then he got all these followers, and now the celebrities see, this guy can help my Q rating simply by hanging out with him, and it just turned into a giant avalanche.
No, because it's no longer about TV, radio. It's about who has the most eyes. And as Nuck Fico points out, he don't need the Netflix special.
Right.
You know,
right. I get which one? I get it. I understand that. I don't understand how it got to that point for this particular individual.
He turned down a Netflix special.
Well, I don't understand how he became that.
But I don't think we're supposed to. It's not for you.
I would love for 14-year-old to explain it to me too, because
they can't. I don't think
they can't either.
They just like him.
It's just very fortunate. He's a very lucky kid.
No, Mike. They like him.
Doesn't. But why him?
Because he has aura. To them.
How?
To them. To them.
He looks like every other high school kid I see.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
I fully get it, even though I don't get it. I get it.
I get the outcome and where he is.
No, I'm not even talking about the outcome. I'm talking about why did they choose him? They chose him because he's him.
I would like to go back. How old is he? 25, maybe?
If that.
I'd like to go back 10 years ago and see what he did.
You know what he was doing 10 years ago? He was on social media doing stupid skits.
Right, and only 18 people watched it, and they thought it was dumb, and he kept at it.
He kept going.
And he caught a wave. Yeah. But I don't know that he did anything any better or more cooler than anybody else. He somehow, some way, the algorithm found him, and he found masses. And somebody else just pointed out, the better question is, why the fuck's Kai putting up with some rando like Tony Parker? Great question. He got paid. They got paid. And it was a cool video. That's a cool video.
I would think. I don't know.
Getting to see Tony's trophy room.
Yeah, I think he's using his house, too, for those streams.
Yeah, I think 30 days. Because I saw Tony go, here's the keys. Don't fuck up my house. Ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, so that's
so he's going to be streaming from Tony's?
For 30 days.
He's about to sell that home.
He's getting
$1
million
He's
bucks
about to be a realtor.
Yeah, he's a realtor.
He just turned into Tony's real. I wonder if he's getting 3% on the sale.
That part I get. But
that's the outcome.
I don't.
You're just talking about the journey.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
And why him? What does he have that when I see, if I go down to the Laugh Out Loud Comedy Club,
right,
and I watch a local comedian, I might chuckle a little bit. But if you roll Dave Chappelle out there, I can tell the difference between rando. No offense to you local comics, and I support them all. We have a great local comic scene, but there's a difference between all y'all and Dave Chappelle.
Sure.
There's a difference between all y'all and Bill Burr.
It's not even close.
I want to know what makes Kai Cenat the Dave Chappelle of what he does.
I can't answer.
How did that happen?
Great question.
That's what I want to know.
Well, that's a great question.
That's what I'd like.
It's a fair question.
God, he's 23 years old apparently. Shout out to the kid, man.
There's a couple other guys that do really, really, like, perfect example. T-Pain doesn't sing anymore. I mean, he did Coachella or whatever. Like, he has a catalog to where he can perform forever. Mm-hmm. But he said on his stream, I'm making so much more money playing video games than people watching me.
Because it's him. He's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Because we're a bunch of celebrity chasers.
So he's making, like, T-Pain's like, that. Why wasn't I already doing this?
Right.
Making way more money having Buki watch him play video games.
Yeah. Honest to God. Look, and I'm not hating on, I don't want to hate on Kai.
No, I don't think you're hating. You're just wondering, like, what did he do?
What about him?
What did he bottle up and sell?
And, I'll tell you what, and media, and
very funny.
This is media entities, the ones that want to survive into the future, they understand this.
Not all of them.
Well, again, the ones that want to survive into the future.
And some of them, it's like, this is radio, we're fine. No, you're not.
No. And yeah, you want, and companies are understanding this. Ones that want to survive. Forget media, companies.
Yes, companies. I like that word.
Why do I'm not going to go get some well-spoken broadcaster to do my commercial. I'm going to go get Kai Cenat to post up in my house and play video games for a month and give him $1 million. Let all of his homies come with him.
Because
So I can sell my house.
Yeah, Tony's had
He's an influencer.
He's had the realtor come by. Shout out to Jay Revolt. He's had the realtor come by and do the drone and the pretty girl walk through.
Sure.
Look at the bathtub. And it's like, okay, how long do I continue to do this over and over and not sell it?
Because his house is so over the top.
I got to go outside the box. And what's
Yeah.
outside the box? I'll have Kai Sanat stream
How
from
badass
it for
is
30
that?
days.
Yeah, for sure. And there, the people out there, companies, they are finally, old school companies, are starting to come around on this notion. Why do you think me and Rudy got a TV show that starts August the 30th? Because Chris Six in Corpus Christi, they see that the future of their company ain't the 10 o'clock news. They ain't going to be able to sell that. They can't sell the local news anymore. They need unorthodox, outside the box, entertaining, influencer programming. That's why me and Rudy got the job. So I'm not trying to hate on what Kai
I don't think
does.
you were I never thought you were
what
hating.
he individually
What did he do?
did. Like Mr. Beast. How did that? I
Man,
want to
I
see
think
that. I want to see that.
I feel like
process.
Mr. Beast is different, and that's why he's the best, because he was actually doing adventures shit. Like Kai's just in his room, so I get why you
Kai
asked.
just chilling with his buddy.
Like Mr. Beast was doing like out and about doing to some people cool shit. Like
he actually made content.
Right.
Dude, perfect. They actually go out and do
make content.
cool stuff.
Kai just in his room
dropping
talking
basketballs off stadiums,
previewing music, doing bits.
Kai's just fucking chilling,
doing bits.
Yeah, how great is it? It's unbelievable. It's great. It's I'm not trying to hate at all. I don't want to come off as that, because God knows we're pitchmen too. We're influencers.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point, we got 7 area Texas cheerlickers in and around the greater San Antonio area, and we like Mr. Singh, and he likes us. But the reason he loves us is because we move product. And that's why he does what he does.
I think I had 3 in the buildings yesterday.
They want to hear from you at all 7 Texas cheerlickers.
None asked about Miss Bouquet's maracas either.
Thank God. Just go in there and mention in the building, and you will get 5% off your total bill, whether you buy a 6-pack or a keg or a expensive bottle of Cavassier, whatever you want to get. They got it all at 7 area Texas cheerliquor stores in San Antonio, Texas, from Bernie all the way to I-90 and in between. Mention in the building to get the discount.
The June specials are still active until we come up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
With the July specials. But
okay, so they carried over.
Yeah, and they are open on the 4th. And a lot of people, like a lot of times on holidays, people are like, I didn't know y'all were open. I'm like, if it ain't Christmas, if it ain't New Year, if it ain't Thanksgiving, they're open. So July 4th, which is Friday, and you run out of booze early and you see us before 9, Texas Cheer Liquor, all 7 locations will be open. Some till 9:03, 9:05. Who knows? Just, got to catch the right person working.
You too could be moving your companies. Bottom line, you too can develop your. We're company developers. Me and Rudy. We're business project developers.
GC Roofing.
We are. Ask GC Roofing. They're over at a client's house today. I think, barring rain.
Or the rain. I don't know if the damn roof is still wet,
but they'll get it when the weather clears up. They'll get back over there this week. GC Roofing just landed an 11th roof since they've been doing business with us. Might as well just segue into the GC Life Spot. Another example of where this world has gone, and another example of an innovative company like GC that understands. Let's find a cool podcast that is our demo. Homeowners, grown men or women that are homeowners that own their roof.
Yeah, he's meeting with the client today. He didn't give me permission to say the name, but the wife is picking out the color of the shingles.
Start with a G, first name?
Starts with a G, last name. So we'll just call him GR. His wife is picking out the color of the shingles.
Awesome.
That means they ain't getting no regular roof, which means...
That's great.
Russ, I need like a round of golf and a steak.
Or 5%.
or 5%.
No, it's just another example of it. Companies that want to innovate and stay viable into the future find influencers that it's in their demo. Kai Sanat found a bunch of young kids that want to sit and watch him play video games. That's great.
Give me half.
We're selling roofs because we're homeowners. We're open, and that's fine. We stay in our lane. That's why GC works, because we got the right audience for them. And hopefully GR, when he gets that roof ready, he'll want to extend the life even further by getting Lone Star Nano Services to go in there and put their love sauce up on the roof.
And Dale, I need that video.
Send us the video, Dale. We're waiting on that video from your last job.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's GC Services Roofing and Construction and or Lone Star Nano Services, 210-347-0426. All right. Have y'all seen an update on my girl, Red Panda?
Who is Red Panda?
See,
Oh.
it's a shame you
Is
don't
that
know.
no, is
you
that
know why
Asian
you don't
lady?
know?
That's the Asian lady that
Yeah.
dances and stuff.
You know
right?
why this town's not?
Dances.
You know why this, Rudy?
She
she
does the. She has a
No.
dress.
Rudy.
She's on a 10-foot pogo stick on a unicycle, throwing 35 fucking
Yeah, her.
teacups in
Her.
there on top of each
Yeah,
other
her.
on her head while balancing them on her. She's the greatest acrobat in modern times, and it's not Rudy's fault. He's not that familiar. Most of the people in San Antonio, I just got triggered. Most
Why?
of the trigger warning.
Why?
She's
Trigger
a
warning.
goat. She's our greatest American.
And the reason why this town don't know who she is because the San Antonio Spurs are cheap as fuck, and they don't hire Red Panda to come do their halftime
She
ceremony.
costs too much, Mike.
Because she's the rest of the league knows who she is. I saw Red Panda no less than 10 times at Mavericks games back in my
Really?
past life. When we would go to them, when I used to cover the Mavericks, and you get to the
No sound,
arena,
Bookie.
when you get to the arena and you find out
I don't want it, that's
when
what
you
I'm saying.
find out Red Panda is the halftime,
You don't get up.
you make sure you take a piss before the half. You go get something to eat before the half because no one went to the restroom when Red Panda was. She's the greatest acrobat I've ever seen ever.
She was on Kai's
in
show.
this town.
Yes,
There,
she was.
Red
She was-
Panda was on Kai's show too.
Jesus Christ.
Of course she was.
I didn't know that, Mike Cheque.
She's incredible. Have y'all ever seen Quick Change? They probably never
What's
done. They've never done Spurs games
I've
either
seen
because
the Blue
the
Men.
Spurs don't pay.
The Spurs don't pay.
The Spurs go get Johnson Middle School's choir.
Yo, Mike, that's
They go get fucking orchestras from junior highs. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's the halftime at the Spurs game. Cheap ass bastards. Red Panda is the greatest halftime performer of NBA history who's never played San Antonio, clearly. She took a spill last night and fell. And she's probably 60.
Where,
She's been doing
off
it
the unicycle.
in the championship of the WNBA's in-game tournament that the Fever
I
won
want to
without
see the
Caitlin
video. I
Clark.
thought that was funny.
She busted her wrist, and she had to get carried out. And shout out to her. I think she may have broken her wrist. I don't know that she's ever fallen ever. Rudy, you have to go look at videos of her. Back
well,
when
that's
she was
but see
younger.
that the problem
She's
is
unbelievable. She's unbelievable.
they're playing too many games.
She's
It's the low tops.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's true. I saw there's 7
This is
Achilles and
before
Red
she
Panda.
gets started.
Oh,
I think this is already after she did her bit. She goes there with stacks of teacups on her head, and then throws them, builds the stack on her head
Yeah.
while on the. It's incredible. It is incredible. Yes, I'm super triggered because I wish my basketball team would not mail in its effing halftimes. It sucks.
and apologies if your son or daughter was in the Johnson Middle School band. That
Fuck
sucked.
them. Y'all shouldn't be doing the Spurs halftime. You should be doing your shit-ass little Christmas shows at the school with 18 people that went, and 9 of them had to drink beer before they went so they could get through it because they want to be a good parent. They should not be doing an NBA halftime show. Outrageous.
I need the stripper fight.
Outrageous.
I need the stripper fight.
You know what? Punch R.C. Buford, the CEO of Spurs Sports and Entertainment, for being the cheapest CEO in the NBA when it comes to their entertainment value.
We can't attack
And you know what?
junior high
And
kids.
shout out to Peter J. Holt,
Why?
the owner, RC's boss.
Why?
Mr. Holt did a sit down with Kins this past week.
He did a sit down with
and
a lot of media
He did a
outlets.
sit down and said, we have the worst entertainment in the NBA. Mr. Holt himself said this last week on Kins 5. Our fans have the worst entertainment value in the league. And we're going to change that when we get to that new
So they're
arena.
going to hire Red Panda?
They better damn well
They better,
should.
yeah.
I want to see Red Panda. I want to see Quick Change. No, I don't want to see Tag Team back again on the 50th anniversary. Woot, there it is.
Did they do that
Woot.
for real?
Yeah, they did. Woot, there it is for the 50th anniversary
Because they
at
were-
that fucking
But
Alamo Bowl.
And you know what, Mike?
God.
The reason they did that is because they cost $15.
Correct, because they're all fat and they need to do dialysis
No,
and they can
they're
barely
cheap.
get out of their chair.
The Spurs are
Tag
cheap.
Team did it for a free beer.
Spurs are cheap.
Bull crap. Run the chick fight.
Yeah,
Golly.
let's untrigger Mike.
Oh.
Untrigger Mike. Let's see the fight.
All the dollars.
Here comes the
falling.
money.
Oh!
I hate this part. I do not like
Down
I
goes
hate seeing women get knocked out.
Alexis.
Big right
Bam.
cross, big right hook got her. God dang it.
My Alexis
She
would
is
fight back.
out.
Down
Cold.
goes Alexis.
Hate to see it.
I'm just, you know what? RC got put on notice by Mr. Holt last week.
I think Mr. Holt had already told him this.
We have the worst entertainment in the NBA, and he could not be more right. Worst. All right, I got ahead of myself on punches.
Yeah.
Let's get violent. Let's get violent again here on In the Building, on Love Your Heart TV.
It's time for People I Want to Punch on In the Building.
Yeah. I don't want to see a little junior high kid out there with sparklers playing the... There ain't nothing worse than a junior high orchestra concert.
Mike.
Sounds like my sex.
Who are you punching today?
I'm punching Giannis Antetokounmpo's punk ass. Like, miss me with the cryptic Instagram story post.
What did he do?
Put a peace sign. This is right after Dame got cut. He put a peace sign.
Yeah.
Then he posted, I don't know what the hell's going on. Stop being a fucking foreigner and tell the Bucks who
Don't
only
speak English.
Yeah, who only have you, who will, like,
Be
say
a
what it is.
foreigner.
Call up Brian Windhorst or call up Shams, do a sit down and tell them to their faces that y'all are fucking up and I'm going to leave. The Instagram shit is stupid. Like, peace sign. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, shut the fuck up and go talk to your front office. Stop being a pizza. You're 7'1", 260. You got they kept your brother on the team for 3 years because of you. You think they won't listen to you? Who gives a shit about your cryptic Instagram post? You're the face of that team. They're going to bend over backwards for you. Go voice these things to them, not your Instagram followers. Like, you have the power to not have to run the Instagram. God.
It's a good one. Boy, the Bucks are being dragged. They let Dame, they released Dame. They make no effort to re-sign Brooke Lopez. They go money whip Miles Turner. They don't have any money. They have no money. Zero money.
They don't have no money?
No. Well, they basically they're going to go way over into the luxury tax over Miles Turner because they're desperate to keep your boy Giannis. They're basically going to spend $50 million next year just to have Miles Turner because of the money they're going to eat from Dame. That's insane. That is ridiculous. And we made, like, I've been back, poor Devin Vassell. I've been using him as an example of how outrageous the salaries in the NBA are, how Devin Vassell makes $30 million and he's just a rando starter in the NBA. I went and looked, what he tweeted about? His last tweet was about his Bugatti. It's outrageous. It's crazy. It's just crazy. All right, I already got my punch in. My punch is R.C. Buford. And I love R.C. Buford. I know R.C. Buford.
Why are you
R.C.,
punching
I'm
him?
punching you. I need you to get some better entertainment at the half. Especially your team ain't even going to. Y'all can't even make the playoffs. At least have some entertainment value. If I don't, when you're winning championships,
Are you punching this because Red Panda fell? You feel bad for your girl?
It led me to thinking about what Mr. Holt said and how awful our halftimes have always been, and I feel bad about Red Panda. RC need to up the budget for entertainment. If you're going to suck and never even make the play-in, I need a reason to go to the arena other than watch you get your ass kicked every night.
Yeah,
I need entertainment.
I'm fine with that.
And it's because if you're gonna suck, then I need some entertainment.
Yeah, I'm over the old ways. I'm over the old ways.
I'm
over the old ways for this city as a whole.
I'm over.
And because this city takes their plays to the beat of the Spurs, their attitude reflects on the city. So great fucking punch.
All right, that's it. We're done. Love y'all hard. Thank you to Orlando Kell, the official family lawyer. Name changes, by the way. Legal name changes. Orlando can do those.
Oh.
Not just divorce. It's divorce. It's decree changes, family stuff, adoption cases. Orlando Kell, that's our guy. Email him, orlandokilllaw@gmail.com, orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. Love y'all hard. Thank you, fellas. See everybody back in here mañana. Enjoy your day.
Last show of the week
Isaac,
tomorrow,
20,
by the way.
$20. Mike's
Oh, and-
tag team impression was everything.
Oh, yeah, there was one more up there.
Support local talent.
Right there.
Rube, $4.99, non-stop live vlog. Vlogging is how they get their subscribers so high. That's where the money. I know. We should like a 24-hour vlog.
So me and you can both be asleep.
Yeah, watch us sleep. All right, we're done. See y'all later. Bye.